Good morning, Kristen. Yeah, that's right. So as we head into cold and flu season, the challenges of fighting viral infections and antibiotic-resistant superbugs are at the top of mind for many. So joining us now to talk more about these issues and how innovative cleaning technologies like CleanCore's aqueous ozone solutions can help. He is Dr. Ian Lipkin, Director of Infection and Immunity at Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health. Thank you so much for joining us today, Doctor.
My pleasure.
So, you heard it in the lead in, cold and flu season, it's here, right? So what do you think that we should be considering and what should be the most effective strategies for preventing the spread of viral respiratory infections, especially in densely populated areas such as New York City?
Well, the most important aspect of this is really becoming vaccinated. So vaccinated for SARS-CoV-2, the agent that causes COVID, as well as influenza. This is a great time to get vaccinated for influenza because your protection really begins around 2 to 3 weeks after vaccination, and it'll last through the peak season for influenza exposure.
And superbugs or antibiotic resistant bacteria are a growing concern globally. So given your expertise in pathogen research, and what are some of the key emerging threats and how should public health policy adapt to address these alongside the seasonal influenza virus?
Well, the most important aspect of this is to understand why we have these superbugs growing as rapidly as they are. And that is the overuse of antibiotics for viral infections and the inappropriate use of these drugs in agriculture to promote growth. And you're right, it's an extraordinary problem and not purely health related as well, but with relevance for your audience, it has an enormous impact on the GDP.
And how do you think the COVID-19 pandemic influenced our understanding of the transmission and prevention of other respiratory viruses like the flu? And what lessons do you think should be applied as we enter flu season?
COVID really illustrated for us the importance of some of the different controls, like masking, can be very, very helpful, irrespective of what variant is circulating, and the importance, again, of vaccine.
And what do you think the environmental factors such as sanitation and cleaning practices play in controlling the spread of superbugs during high transmission seasons like winter?
They're a huge problem, many of these environmental issues. We have a completely different understanding about how some of these viruses, and chiefly the one that causes COVID, circulate in the air. It can remain suspended and infect people hours after somebody who's infected has been present in an environment. People are beginning to look at ways in which you can measure CO2 as a marker for how many people are in the room and how much they might be exposing one another to viruses. From the vantage point of an individual, the best thing you can do if you see somebody sneezing, coughing, is to either wear a mask or simply get free of them.
Or stay that 6 feet away, as we learned during COVID. But, given your extensive experience in infection diseases, how do you see the role of ozone-based disinfection technologies in reducing pathogen transmission in public spaces?
I think we have the best data right now for ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet light type C has the ability to kill viruses, kill bacteria, and it's not toxic for humans. I don't think we have quite as much experience with ozone.
And with advancements in non-chemical cleaning technology and efforts to reduce reliance on antibiotics, do you foresee alternative disinfection methods? I know you did mention UV. We don't have a lot of knowledge or experience when it comes to ozone, but what is playing a significant role when you're considering managing both cold and flu and superbug outbreaks?
I think the most important thing is to ensure adequate ventilation. This is one of the reasons why we moved outside to restaurants during the COVID pandemic, is because you dilute the amount of virus and bacteria which might otherwise cause disease. Other than that, other than vaccination, all we really have left is drugs. And the important thing is that if you think you're sick and you can test yourself and find out whether it's COVID or whether it's flu, very important to start the drug therapy as soon as possible. The sooner you start, the better the outcome. But
This,
within 48 hours is probably useful.
the sooner you start, the better the outcome. Thank you again, doctor, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.